for the session on supercharging your LinkedIn profile. This is Suma, and you just heard Praveen. He's my co-board member at the BMI Presence-18 chapter, and we are honored to have Mr. Neeraj Sharma, a LinkedIn expert, digital marketing coach, and business mentor, joining us for the session today. Let me give a brief introduction to Neeraj, though his LinkedIn profile, I can talk pages about it. So, sorry, Neeraj, I'm just summarizing it here. Last 17 years, Neeraj has been educating experts, coaches, consultants to elevate their income, influence, and impact through business networking. He's a founder of Titan Masterminds, one of the top 20 mentors and LinkedIn faculty of the Genius EU, that serves as a community of 1.5 million entrepreneurs globally. He has recently been featured by People Hunt's Power List as one of the top 200 global thought leaders to follow in 2021. That itself is a major achievement. And on top of it, he has grown BNI India, the Business Network Group, from 0 to 10K entrepreneurs across 28 cities in India. He has helped these entrepreneurs use business networking to generate over 450 million in revenue dollars. He is a co-author of the BNI Handy Guide to Networking and a contributing author to the #1 Wall Street Journal bestseller, The Masters of Success. He runs masterminds to power successful coaches, consultants, and experts to become a titan in their chosen niche. Helps clients digitally pivot, amplify the performance of their business while tearing down the barriers holding them from going to the next level. I'm sure the last line is more of impact to us than ever. We are all of us, most of us are on LinkedIn, but we are seeing how best we can leverage this LinkedIn profile of ours to reach whoever we actually want to. Neeraj, I'm looking forward to the session. Over to you, please.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I hope everyone is able to hear me. I'm going to share my screen. Just we'll dive right into it. Give me a second. Oh. Awesome. Okay. So if let me just quickly here we go. Okay, welcome to the Supercharge Your LinkedIn Presence. How many of you would like to build a strong personal brand? Put it in the chat. How many of you would like to be more visible on the platform? How many of you would like to have a more powerful network? And I'm going to share with you a particular way in which you can really not only become visible, but credible so that you can grow in your career and be considered a thought leader. So welcome. In case we haven't yet connected, okay, you can go to my LinkedIn profile through that particular URL, but let me show you a very easy way. If you have the mobile app on your phone, okay, then this is what I would suggest you do, is if you click on, put it on, and on the search bar, you will see a little QR code, okay? And what you can do is tap on that QR code and point it at the one on the screen, and you and I will be immediately connected together. So I hope that is good. So I'll give you a moment just to do that, okay? So that you and I can all remain connected through this. Sounds good?
Yeah, yes, Neeraj.
Awesome. Okay. Let me just... Okay, so first things first, I want to know how active you are on LinkedIn. Okay, so if you go to this particular website, menti.com, and use this particular code 4062477, okay, there are going to be, yeah, Praveen has put it in the chat as well, so you can just click on that link. I want to know, how active are you on LinkedIn? First of all, are you someone who's on there daily, weekly, monthly, or you can't even remember when the last time you logged into LinkedIn? Okay, so whichever it is, okay, so that will tell me, in terms of the audience, and we can actually see this, live. So let's see. So here we have people. Okay, so some of you are there daily. Okay, so here we go. We've got live.
Oh, daily is growing so fast.
So good. So there are people who are on daily. Some are there a couple of times a week. And one person so far is right now a couple of times a month. Okay, so good. So we have some avid LinkedIn users who are pretty much using this daily. Okay, so perfect. Next, okay, so we have 18,501. Okay, go to the next one, which is, what stops you from using LinkedIn most? And the reason I would like to know this, and I've given you three options. You don't know how to be visible on LinkedIn. You don't know how to network on LinkedIn. You don't know how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn. Okay, so let me know which is the one that's relevant to you. And then what will happen is that I can begin to shift the focus of the presentation so that I can add the most value to this audience. Wonderful. Okay, so some of you don't know how to be visible on LinkedIn. A number of you don't know how to network effectively on LinkedIn. And lastly, the majority of you currently don't know how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn. That is the majority of you right now. Okay, so superb. We're having a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop. Okay, so we are going to do a lot of focus on building the personal brand. Not to say that I'm not going to cover the other two, but we will really look to get you on the right path as far as building a solid brand. Okay, so thank you so much for taking part in this. So why LinkedIn first? Many of you are on LinkedIn every day, but let me share with you some key statistics to help you understand. Okay, number one, there are nearly 800 million LinkedIn users now. There's 3 new LinkedIn users joining every second. That's right. And since Microsoft has taken over, they bought LinkedIn a couple of years ago, it has seen some massive growth. Just to let you know, over 11 years ago, LinkedIn was only at 70 million users. So it's had a 10x growth in the last 10 years. It's growing massively. Next, we are in India. And if you see there, India has over 71 million users. Okay? These are all professionals and business users. So it is the #1 business network professional network in the world. And certainly, India is, the second largest, I would say, after, the US. So this is something very important. Now, 4 out of 5 of the people on here drive decisions. So it's amazing. You have decision makers, and everyone in the world wants to be connected to decision makers. This is an interesting stat. 44% earn more than $75,000 per year in income. So not only are they decision makers, but they have a high income. So it's a great combination for people to network with. Next, we'll talk more about this in detail, which is that it has great organic reach compared to many of the other platforms out there where you have to pay a lot of money to get your posts to be seen. And lastly, it is the reason why Microsoft paid, wait for it, 26 billion with a B dollars for LinkedIn when they bought it was because it is the world's largest professional database, and you're able to get right down to, people's exact job history, the companies that they work for, the size of their companies, the positions that they've held, etc. So it is hyper targeted. So you can connect to the exact kind of people that you want to network with, rather than guessing about it. So these are some of the key reasons why LinkedIn ends up winning. Lastly, for 2 years in a row, it has been considered the most trusted social media platform out there. Okay? And in this day and age, trust is one of the most important parts in terms of building your personal brand. People are looking that, do you do what you say and say what you do? Can you be trusted? Because at the end of the day, what is your personal brand? It is what people say about you when you're not in the room. What do they say about you when they're not in the room? And one of the key elements of trust, we'll talk more about this a little bit later, is something called the KLT formula. Know, like, and trust. And trust is the highest part. So it's good to be on a platform which people first trust. So if you can then become visible on this platform, then you will be able to build a solid personal brand. Some of you may be also looking, you are consultants who look to get business, and in terms of lead generation, LinkedIn is the number one for lead generation. You can see 274% compared to Facebook and Twitter, and this is from HubSpot. And this is both for B2B and B2C. People mistakenly think that LinkedIn is only for B2B kind of business to business leads, but it works as well for business to consumer kind of lead generation. We were talking about this a little bit earlier, which is the organic reach. And look at the organic reach. I currently am on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and I have a community which is across all these, and LinkedIn wins outright. And I'm going to let you into a little secret as to why that is the case and how you can end up leveraging that to really skyrocket your personal brand. Okay, so LinkedIn presents an untapped career growth opportunity for project management professionals. So don't miss out on this opportunity because you don't know how to use it. And typically there are 3 things that stop people from using it. They don't know how to be visible in the right way on LinkedIn. They don't know how to network, how to build that powerful network, how to approach people. They know who they want to network with, but they don't know how to approach them. And lastly, they don't know how to monetize their network. They don't know how to build that personal brand, which is really strong and helps them get new opportunities, get them considered to be a go-to person in their network and grow their career. Okay, so we will look at all three of these. So these are what I would say are the three growth levers. Let's help you first stand out on LinkedIn in the right way. And I'll show you how to incorporate personal branding elements into every part. And you need to be able to stand out to two different target markets. Okay, I'm going to tell you in a moment who they are. One is going to really surprise you. The second, I'm going to show you how to grow your network and use a very simple free tool that is on LinkedIn itself, on the free version. And then we will get into how you can really grow your brand. Okay. So the first thing, if you really want to be visible on LinkedIn, you need to be visible to the robots. I want you to write this down, okay? You need to be visible to the robots. What do I mean by that? There is an algorithm which drives LinkedIn, okay? All of these social media platforms have an algorithm, and you have to be visible first to the algorithm. Then you've got to be visible to the people on LinkedIn. So we're going to show you both sides of the formula, okay? Now, why optimize your LinkedIn profile? We probably have done this where we have put in our name in Google, and you will be amazed that typically, even if you're active on social media and other social media, you have a good website, whatever the case may be, in Google search, it's probably your LinkedIn profile which turns up number one in your, for your name. Okay. Why? Because LinkedIn is 100% optimized for Google. Okay. Secondly, people don't know this, but LinkedIn itself is a search engine. There are 6.7 billion searches being done on LinkedIn. The question is that when people search for your specialty, your expertise, do you turn up? Okay. If you don't, then it's your competitors that are ending up getting the opportunities that should have been there for you. So you will then be very visible on LinkedIn if you get these two things right. And buyer research, this is something very interesting. 67% of B2B buyers will check out your LinkedIn profile before buying. So it's very important in terms of the decision-making process. And what I'm going to say to you is that what COVID-19 has basically done is that it's made a lot of digital decision-making. It's accelerated that. People are doing a lot of research in terms of who to work with, who to buy from online. And if you don't have a visible, credible online brand, okay, then you are going to be invisible. People are not going to see you, and as a result, you will be missed out on the right opportunities, promotions, projects, etc. Okay, so you don't want to miss out on that. Okay, so let's look at this. I put a particular poll here, and is your LinkedIn profile more important than your resume or your CV? And you can see 2,380 people have voted on it. This was 2 or 3 months ago, and it was amazing. 63% said yes. Okay, It created a lot of debate, okay? But I really believe that it is something which is a lot more powerful, in my opinion, than your CV. And when I talked to a number of the top recruiters, they agreed. Okay, and you'll be able to see their comments on that particular poll. Okay, okay. So let's carry on. So the question then is that what are key elements to create a strong personal brand as soon as someone visits your profile? And these are the 5 key things that I'm going to suggest that you need to focus on. This is the 20% that will bring about 80% of the result. Your profile photo, your profile banner, your headline, the LinkedIn headline, and that is very important for you to be visible to the robots and the about section and recommendations. Let's go into each one of these in a little bit more detail. So the LinkedIn profile photo. As far as a human coming to visit your profile, this is actually the first thing that they will see. And you might want to take a quick screenshot of this. Profiles with a professional headshot receive 14 times more views, 8 times more connection requests, and 36 times more messages. People just feel that they connect and that there's a real person there. This is very important. Otherwise, if you don't have that photo, or if you just have a logo or something like that, then people will doubt if you are real. And there are so many fake profiles as well. So it's important to build your credibility there. And actually, when they do heat map analysis, okay, this is where the eye goes first, okay? It's always the face. We are hardwired to look at a human face, and it's a part of the brain. We are always checking out whether someone is going to be a friend or a foe, okay? So we will look at that in more detail. So what does a good LinkedIn profile headshot look like? So these are clients of mine, and these are all great examples of a LinkedIn profile headshot, which is the right kind. Okay, so let me take you through some specifics about this. Okay, so here in my particular thing, this is like a passport format. It's only you in the photo. There's a neutral background at the back, and your face is covering anywhere from 40% to 60%. And why is it important to zoom in? Okay, you need to be able to see the eyes. Remember, there's a saying which says the eyes are a window to the soul, okay? And it's very important. Okay? You need to be appropriately dressed. Remember, this is a professional business network. So how would you be dressed if you were meeting your top management or your best #1 client? You want to be appropriately dressed. You want to be looking into the camera, directly into the camera, okay? And very importantly, you want to be smiling, okay? So this is very, very important. And if you have these key elements, then it becomes a photo which people are going to decide, yes, this person looks like a good person for me to connect to, okay? So friendliness is the first part. Professionalism and competence, are other parts. And I'm going to show you a free website where you can get strangers to rate your current photo. And you can upload a number of photos and get people to choose the best. Of course, if you already have a decent LinkedIn network, then you can put 2 or 3 photos and ask people, which one do you like best, A, B, or C, okay? And you will be able to get that feedback. So let me show you this particular site, which is there. It's called photofeeder.com. Photofeeder.com. I'm gonna just put this on chat. Just to give me a second. Chat. Okay, here we go. Let's put that there. Okay. So refer to feeder.com. And you can see people are going to end up scoring you. And competency, likability, and how influential you are. So here, this is for like a dating or a social website at the top. And the bottom one is more for business. Okay. And people will rate you for this, and you end up for it to be free, also giving people their feedback. And so you can get data and specific comments from people. Okay. So this is a really cool website. There used to be another one which was AI powered, but there seems to now be a glitch, and we've not been able to get that to work. Otherwise, that was my actual go-to one, because they had millions. No, PhotoFeeder does not work on AI. Okay, this actually works with real people. It works with real people. Okay, whereas the other one that I was going to recommend, which is by Snapper, actually uses AI, but they're a professional photography website, and they do portrait photography, and they literally have analyzed millions of photos, and I found it to be very accurate. But right now it's not working, and that's why I'm testing it for you. Okay. I want to check in with everyone. Is this all good so far? Whatever I've shared, is this making sense to you? If you can just put in the chat. Okay, good. Awesome.
Yeah, we are getting very good response, Neeraj. Great going, great going.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
let's keep it going. Okay, so photofeeder.com, I've shown you that. Okay. Let's talk about mistakes you should not be making. So let's go from top left and work our way across, and then come to bottom left. Number one, no group photos. People want to know you are the main star, so only photos of you. Number two, even if you're an avid athlete or something like that, remember it's a professional network, so think in terms of professional dress. Number three, on the right, top right, the mean and moody look, it might work for an artistic photograph, but not on a professional networking website. You want it well lit, and your eyes being very clear, and smile. Okay. Now, let's come to the bottom left-hand side. This is those throwbacks. No matter you may have had a social event, a wedding, engagement, whatever the case may be, where you have one of those photos. Again, think professional network. That might be okay on a social network, but not on a business network. Middle bottom, I'm a doting parent, but again, no family photos. Again, you are the star. Let's keep you in the spotlight. And then finally, this is one I've actually seen from one of my connections that wanted to connect. And they had maybe been to a great holiday, and they had taken a view, a photo from, their villa, which it may have been a cool place to be, but again, people connect with people first. So have your photo in there. Okay. You can have this in other places. You can do posts with photos, and we'll talk more about that. Okay, so don't end up making these mistakes. Okay, so let's keep it moving on. Now, next, let's come to the LinkedIn profile banner. The LinkedIn profile banner is a great piece of real estate that LinkedIn has given to you for free. And I see a lot of people not utilizing it in the right way. So this is, what is the banner? Okay, the banner is what I've highlighted in orange. Okay, so this is a client of mine and he's used it in the perfect way. Just above his profile photo on the top left, he has got his logo on it. Okay, so it's Kale Capital. And then on the right-hand side, he's talking about who does he help and how does he help them. So helping senior corporate professionals and business owners create wealth. And then finally at the bottom, he's got 2 keywords that he would like to be found for, which is stockbroker and financial planner. And then interesting photo in the middle, which is the bull and the bear on his desk, and kind of his office photo. Okay, so this is a great kind of banner. You can get one of these made, on Fiverr, or you can make this for yourself free. The many free templates on Canva, canva.com, canva.com. So what do you want to use this for? Do you want to use it to brand yourself? You want it to amplify your authority and credibility quickly. I will look at the photo first, the profile photo, then I will look at the profile banner. Okay, and immediately then I will start making decisions. Are you a relevant person for me to connect to? Okay, so very important. This is another client, and here she's in the gifting field. So here again, she's very clear. Plus, she's used her own logo. Okay, here is mine. Okay, so supercharge your LinkedIn. Just what would come above me is here. I since I have that top 200 global thought leader award, so I put that in. So again, what can quickly build credibility for you, and then here, it's supercharge your LinkedIn, and then it's very clear. Who do I help? Experts, coaches, and consultants. What's the result I help them with? Okay, and then you see what catches your eye. Their free training link below. It's actually going to want you to scroll down to other parts in the profile. So if you have something of value that you would like to share with your community, and that's an easy way for you to begin to get more connections. Here I've used some of my key colors, which is this orange that I use. So again, and then you'll see that I use this particular emoji, the lightning emoji, in a number of different places on mine. So it's part of my brand. It's part of my brand. Okay, so it's very important. Okay. Now, mistakes to avoid. You don't want to end up looking like this, which is no profile photo and no banner. They've changed it from this kind of aqua blue green to, being the grayish. Okay, so you want to make sure that both these are filled in. So key action points here: update your optimized profile photo and your banner, which amplifies your credibility. And one of the things that you could do, because you guys are all PMI members, is have that PMI or PMP related logo. And if you've got any awards, that's another way to again make sure that your expertise is highlighted. Next, we come to something called the LinkedIn profile headline. if you want to really be visible to the LinkedIn algorithm, the robots, okay, this is the key part. It is the most visible part of your LinkedIn profile, and I'll tell you why. Because every time you comment on anyone else's post, it will follow you everywhere. And also, the LinkedIn search algorithm is driven by this. When people type in certain keywords, if you have mentioned those keywords in your headline, then you will show up for that. Okay, so where is the headline? The headline is right underneath your name, and you can see here, and typically people end up making a big mistake. So here, think in terms of key search terms. You can have up to 260 characters, not words, but characters. And what I've done here is I've used some icons to separate, to highlight, okay, the little arrow icon. So obviously LinkedIn is my expertise, but around LinkedIn, what are the kind of things that I can help people with? So what is my target market searching? Lead generation, LinkedIn strategy, LinkedIn expert, LinkedIn training, online course, sales, personal branding, etc. So these are some of the key things. So I want you to think in for a moment, what are some of the words that you would want to be found for? What are some of the words? I want you to jot a few of them down right now. One of the mistakes, and I'll tell you what some of the mistakes are, and you can also put this in. I've seen this used at the end. I help, so Vijay, you put there thought leader, but thought leader in what? Okay, so again, it's you want to be known for a specific expertise, and I ended up getting that award from People Hunt because they found me when they were looking for a LinkedIn expert. Give me a second. Okay. And they found me through that. So very important. Sorry. So you can have this, and I've shown you how people have used it. Okay, so PMP certified. Okay. Very good. Delivery head. Okay, very nice. So good. Now, some of the mistakes that people make, typically I would suggest not to use your title. Why? Because the title should be in the experience section, okay? And I will show you where that is in a moment. Here, because when you make a post, the headline will follow you everywhere. You want this to be clear. Again, typically you don't want to be using these three-letter abbreviations unless they are well known and people are searching according to those. And I understand as being members, you do use PMP. Okay, so but apart from PMP, what are other things that you would want to be known by? And again, try not to use industry jargon because people may not search using that jargon. They may use simpler terms. Okay. So you revise your headline with the relevant keywords. Let me also show you here, this is mine, and under experience, so you can see here, okay, founder, CEO, things like that, I have under my company experience. And then here I've used two different parts under the same company. So you can have multiple, you may have multiple roles. So I've done that here. So this is more related to my LinkedIn training, okay? And I've used some keywords that I want to be found for. Here, founder, CEO, business masterminds, things like that. Online courses, business coach. So again, these are different ones that, you can be found for. So I hope this is making sense. Yeah. Okay, let's come to something called the About section. If someone is really interested in working with you or hiring you, then this is where, this I think is one of the most important parts and most underutilized part. And this can really help you build a very strong brand. It will help amplify your credibility in more detail. And there's a very particular way in which I would like you to use the About section. Okay? So, and I'm going to quickly just take you through some of the headings. Okay? But first things first, you don't want very long paragraphs. People don't want to read a wall of text. So you want to use short paragraphs, maximum 2 to 3 lines per paragraph. You can use up to nearly 3,000 characters. So, each letter is a character. So use it fully. Okay. You want to use things like bullet points, icons, emojis also work because it gives your About section some visual variety, and you want to make sure some of the keywords that you want to be found for are there. I'm using some key headlines. The first is what I do. So, and typically that is if you were at a networking event and you met a fellow professional and they asked you, what do you do? How would you answer? So in my case here, I say I help entrepreneurs, consultants, and sales leaders get double-digit sales in 90 days without wasting time, tech overwhelm, and spending a fortune on marketing. So very clear about who I work with, how I help them get that result. Okay, so that's there. In fact, this has been updated. That's an older version. So I specifically mentioned LinkedIn. Okay, then how I do it, why it works, services I provide. So under services, it could be expertise that you have. Where have you seen me? So it could be awards or associations or memberships that you have. And then instead of types of businesses that you work with, you can instead have types of projects that you have ended up working on. Okay, so if you have, if you worked across some verticals, if you worked on some specialities, then those are the things that I would write. And then you want to write a little positive comment from someone else who's worked with you. Okay, so that's there. And finally, there needs to be a call to action. And it can be a very simple thing, like connect with me here on LinkedIn, or if you'd like people to reach out to you via email or book a call with you. So I put a particular link there. And the key thing here is think in terms of the ideal target market that you're looking to network with and impress. Okay. Don't write it in third party. Okay. Like don't write things like Neeraj is. Like write what I do. People want that personal feel. Again, think in terms of ACE, authority, credibility, and expertise. Whenever you're thinking, will this amplify my authority, credibility, or expertise? If the answer is yes, then you can put it. If not, then I would suggest leaving it out. Okay? And you can always visit my LinkedIn profile again to read these in more detail. Now, some of the don'ts. Don't use it as your CV. Really look at this as something that you're going to write in terms of, think of it as being a sales letter for you. What would be, say, the covering letter that you would send with your CV? Think in that way. Again, try not to use industry jargon because not everyone understands it. Use simple language. Write in first person, not third person. Use all 2,600 characters and remember to use a call to action. What is the next step that you want them to take after having read this? What I would say is a simple one would be connect with me here on LinkedIn or send me an email or send me a message here on this number, whatever the case may be. Okay. Finally, social proof is one of the most powerful ways in which you can build your brand. Rather than you saying you are good, if others say that you are good, it's even better, it's more believable. And that you can do through LinkedIn recommendations. Okay? So here you can see I've received more than 70 recommendations. And these are very detailed ones of people that have ended up working with me. So if you scroll down towards the bottom of your profile, and you will see a little pencil icon which says ask for a recommendation. Then click on it. Okay. And you need to be connected to someone to get a recommendation from them. So if you're not connected to them, they're not a first degree connection, then you've got to make sure first that you're connected to them and then ask them. Okay, so it's very important that they do that. And ask them, to specify how specifically they enjoyed working with you or what specific results you've helped them to get. In my case, typically it's related to how I've helped them with lead generation and helping them get more business. Okay. So here you can see someone's written about. Okay. So this is very important. And one of the easiest ways in which you can end up getting recommendations is by giving recommendations. So be a generous networker out there. And if you work with someone, also, give them a good positive recommendation. And when you ask for one in return, they're more likely to want to give you. Okay. So think of 5 current or past satisfied clients or team members that you worked on projects with, okay, and look to get that in place. Okay. So if you do these 5 things, immediately you will become very visible on LinkedIn. You will not only become visible, but you will become credible. You will become visible to the LinkedIn algorithm. And when people connect with you, find you, and they visit your profile, they will be very impressed and they will want to definitely connect with you. Okay? So that is part 1. So I want to just check in with people right now. What did you get so far? What is the best that you've learned right now? What is the key takeaway? Just type that in the chat. I'm going to take a sip of water while we wait. What is a key learning? Is the key learning? Banner, right? Never understood how important the banner. Yes, I'm suggesting canva.com, but the one you've seen me of mine, that's created on Canva by me. I didn't use a professional graphic designer. Yeah, so many of you are saying the Canva, the banner is so important. Call to action, the summary. Yeah, the summary now is called the about section. Yeah. If you are, Vijay, if you are looking actively for a job, then what I'm going to say to you is that there is another feature, I'm going to highlight it in a moment, that you can use, which will make your profile like super visible to recruiters. Okay, so let me share that particular one. So let me just show you what I mean by that. And I have a little free gift for you on this. Okay, it comes with a template and training. Okay, if you go to this supercharge.gr8.com, just take a quick screenshot, or maybe Praveen, you can help me with typing this in, supercharge.gr8.com. Okay, you can get not only my template, but you can get a very detailed 5-day free training, okay, which goes into all of these particular things in detail. Okay, so that will help you there. Now, let me just show you on the LinkedIn profile, there's some things that will make you more visible to, give me a second. Okay. So let's look at this. This is my LinkedIn profile. If I come to the little gray icon just under my banner, okay, or come to this photo, okay, if I click on the photo, okay, it says view or edit profile photo, view or edit cover story, and add frame. So what I'm going to suggest to you, if you're actively looking for a new job, okay, or you're open to new possibilities, then I would say you use the add frame. If you click on add frame, this is the original. This is if you are hiring, and this is if you're looking for more new work, new opportunities. You can add this, open to work, and just use that, and then click apply, and this will be visible to all LinkedIn members, but not only visible to LinkedIn members, it will be super visible to recruiters who use LinkedIn as a recruitment engine, and they are amazing recruiters who do that. That will be looking at that. Okay, so that's a very simple way to do that. Okay, I'm not going to change it right now because I want to go back to my original setting. Okay, so I hope this is making sense so far. Okay, let's come back to the screen and let's keep things moving on. Okay, so now let's look at step 2, which is how do we network with the right people on LinkedIn? How do we find them? And how do we engage with them? Because I really believe that networking is about building relationships. You should never be looking at ROI, which is return on investment. In fact, there's something more powerful that if you want to network, it is ROR, which is a return on relationship. And that really has been my ethos for the last 17 years that I've been specializing in helping people build powerful business networks, is if you come with that thinking, that mindset, you will actually be more successful at networking. So let's look at some of the ways in which you can begin to network. Okay, so it's a very simple 3-step formula. first, you want to end up knowing how to search. Then you want to end up visiting their profile, making sure that they are active. And number three, to get on their radar, you want to engage with their posts. Okay, even before sending them a connection request. Okay, so identify your target market, your target audience. Who do you want to network with? If you know their location, their kind of industry, then you can use that while searching for people. And if you know the kind of job titles that they would be having, okay, then you can actually use them. I'll show you in a moment. Why do you want to visit their profile? Because you want to gather intelligence. What sort of intelligence do you want to gather? You want to look at some commonalities, some shared interests, something useful and interesting, something which lets people know that you have done a little bit of background work, which will help them take you more seriously. And lastly, if you engage with their posts, you will become more visible to them, because every time someone comments on your post, then LinkedIn will send you a notification of who that person is. So, that person typically will then check and see. If they've never met you before, then they're very likely to first check out your LinkedIn profile. They will see your comment, they will see your photo, and they will see your headline. And that's why having the right kind of headline in place is so important here. So let's look at this in a little bit more detail in terms of how you end up using search. So let's come back to LinkedIn. So here you will see that there's a search bar, and you can then, like say, if you wanted to search for Tim Cook or Apple or whatever, you can. If you're looking for a specific name, then you can do so. Okay. If you're not looking for a name, but you're looking for a job title. Okay, so here you can use something like CEO. Now say I'm looking for someone who's using PMP, because I want to connect with other people that are PMP professionals. Okay, if I put that in inverted commas and I do a search, okay, and then I click on people, okay, you can see it begins to show me 1,320,000 results. And you can see here, this is someone who then, these are all the people that are coming up. And you can see how they've used it in their headlines. So PMP, strategy, BFSI, digital transformation. Here, this one, senior consultant at EY, PMP, digital transformation in industry, IT, risk compliance, etc. So these are different people. Then if you're looking for people in specific locations, then you can begin to filter. Are you looking for in India, in Hyderabad, in Mumbai, in US, wherever? You can begin to do that. If you're looking for people in a particular company, you can do so. And if you click on all filters, then you can see here, the type of connection. So second degree is that you have a connection in common, but you are not directly connected. Third is that you don't have any connections straight away. Here are locations. You can think in terms of companies. You can think in terms of past companies. You can even think in terms of schools that they've attended. So remember, this is a US organization. So when they're talking school, they're not talking high school, they're talking about university. What industry You can add an industry, you know, all sorts of things that you can look into. What service categories, okay? Even keywords. Okay? All sorts of things you can get very specific. Okay? So I hope that helps. So let's come back. So now I've shown you how to do the search. Then, you know, if they look interesting, then visit their profile, gather intelligence. How would you start a conversation if there's some commonalities? It becomes easy to do that. If they are posting on LinkedIn, then you can do that. Okay. One important thing, particularly if you are looking at selling, okay, don't just open up with a sales conversation. Okay, that is the worst prospecting mistake that you can make. Okay, do not sell. Okay, no one wants to be sold to. So it would be better if you say, hey, you know, I was searching for PMP professionals and your name came up at the top. And I thought, as a fellow PMP professional, I wanted to connect. I see that you're also interested in BFSI. As I am, I'd love to add you to my LinkedIn network. Becomes that much more easier if you go in with that sort of connection request, then saying, hey, you know, this is what I want to sell to you. Okay, so this is the key that I will say to you. Engage before connecting. Comment on their posts, like their posts, visit their profile, you know, identify what sort of groups are they part of, are they reading particular articles, are they commenting on other people's posts, even if they're not putting their own posts. So how can you do that? I'll show you in a second. And then lastly, always send a personalized connection request. Always. And this will improve your acceptance rate. And with this particular way of teaching people to do that, clients of mine have a 50 to 70% connection acceptance rate. So very important. Okay, so now how do we find out if someone is active? So let's come back to, you know, seeing, you know, this is professional. So say Shrikant is there, okay? And here it'll also show you who are some of the shared connections. So I know Suresh very well. So I can then, you know, click here. Okay. So before sending a connection request, it's best to check out. Okay. Now I want to know. Okay, so he's working with Sterlite Technologies. He studied at NMIS. Okay. He's a deputy manager there. Okay, so very nice. You know, what is he into? Automation. Okay. Marketing analytics. So he's definitely interested in marketing. Market research. He's been endorsed as team management and marketing. So excellent. So he's definitely interested in that. Okay, so he likes Tony Robbins as I do. So these are immediately things that I can see about you. Now, here it shows me how many followers he has, and it shows all his activity in the last 90 days. Unfortunately, he's not been active. So if I click on see all his activity, it will show me who has he commented on. So you can see here he's liked this post. So I can figure out what is this about. What is this? Okay, so maybe this is a friend of his. Okay, so he's doing a lot of liking, but he's not immediately doing some commenting. Okay, So, okay, so this is all good. Okay, so this begins to tell us a little bit more about his interests. If he's made any posts, okay, okay, awesome. So here Shrikant is a PMI member. So we can click on that, and we can see that. And if I want to get on his radar, then I will not only like it, so I'll do a little celebrate, and I'll do a comment on that. So congratulations about that one. Okay. So this is how you can begin to really do homework before connecting, and you could I can mention that I noticed you. We have a shared connection, Suresh, who I know very well and I work with, and you're a Tony Robbins fan, and you're interested in marketing. So I'd love to add you to my network of successful consultants. Okay, so it becomes very easy to start a conversation. So can you see how easy networking is? And every day, just think of about 20 people to connect to. LinkedIn anyway has a limit that you can only send out 100 connection requests per week. So that's a simple way in which you can easily build a very powerful network. So action points. Identify 5 people you want to network with. Visit their profile, gather intelligence, engage with their posts, articles, and leave some meaningful comments, and then send them a personalized connection request. Sounds good? I want to check in right now. How's everyone doing? And if you can leave me some comments in terms of what did you learn from this? So if you can type in the chat, what networking tips, skills that you just learned about right now? Did you find them? Yeah, engage before connection. Any impact on having bad connections? Let's do this, Bala. We'll come to questions, and then I'll talk about that. Should you connect to people you don't know? Yes. Some of the best opportunities I've ever got have come from connecting with people who I've never known before. But as long as I feel, after having visited the profile, that we have commonality, and this is someone that I can work with, and it'd be a good person to have in my network, then all of these, I use that to vet connection requests. Okay, I don't accept anyone and everyone, and because of my training, I have a lot of people that are maybe interns or students also following me. Okay, they're not my category, and I typically don't accept them because I use something called creator mode. People like that can just follow me and follow my posts. Okay, but they don't need to be a connection. I don't have to receive a connection from.
Neeraj, there are
Yeah.
some questions coming up in chat window.
Okay.
Guys who are participating, please put your questions in Q&A so that we don't miss any
Yeah.
questions from your things.
Yeah.
Neeraj will be here to answer all your questions. So
Yeah.
there was one question by Satish Chandra. How to approach to company head or a leader to connect in LinkedIn?
Yeah, so just use this same format that I've just taken you through. Because say they're a CEO of a large company, until you get on their radar, people are not going to want to connect to you. So recently, I connected with someone who is a very successful entrepreneur and is an influencer on Twitter and has like hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. And the way I did it was that I found one of his posts on Twitter to be really useful. I turned that into a LinkedIn post, quoted him. I asked my network to follow him. I also tagged him on LinkedIn because he's also on LinkedIn. And then I shared it with my audience. He ended up liking it. And after he ended up liking it, I then followed up with a connection request and he accepted.
Wow, great strategy. That's a great strategy.
So, like, because otherwise it's like, who's Neeraj? Why do I care?
Yeah, yeah.
So, if you have found something of value, then you can mention it, saying, hey,
Right.
I really like this particular post of yours or this comment that you made. I found that to be really insightful. So I would comment on it just underneath that comment. And then, I would wait for them to like it, reply to it, and then I would send them a connection request. It becomes very easy for me to meet thought leaders out there because and that's how thought leaders end up approaching me and then wanting to connect with me, then wanting to put me in front of their audiences, and that's how I've had some of the biggest opportunities, come to me. So I end up attracting opportunities like that. But
Okay.
that came by me being generous. Yeah, Praveen, anything you wanted to
Yeah,
just
one more question we have is Sravanti. Should we visit their profile before accepting the connection request?
110%? What if they turn out to be a serial killer?
Yeah.
Uh, so what happens is there are some fake profiles, and they are not genuine. And particularly if you are someone who is an industry leader, then you might get targeted by these fake profiles. So it's very important to check that they are connecting with real people, they are posting content of value, they're liking and commenting on others. Is this the kind of person that you would want to continue to have a conversation with? Imagine if you met them in person, is this someone who you would like to continue to have a conversation?
Okay. So Suresh Babu is asking, should we accept all invitations, junior resources requests received also will be accepted or not?
My thinking is that I want a very curated network. Okay, um, you can only have 30,000 first degree LinkedIn connections. So I think it's important because the kind of people that you accept in your connection request is also going to then determine the kind of LinkedIn feed you. So, what kind of posts show up on your, so if you've accepted a lot of junior people, interns and people like that, okay, they may then not give you a good experience as far as your LinkedIn feed goes. Okay, so I wouldn't do that. But if there are other industry leaders, I certainly would. And if I see commonalities, I certainly would. And a lot of good new opportunities have come through something like that.
Yeah. So next question is from Vinit Joshi. The certification section in is very low in LinkedIn profile page. Shall we add certifications in the profile name itself to make it visible? Sorry.
Um, Can you please repeat that question again?
Yeah. So what she's asking here, Vinith is asking is, shall we add certifications in the profile name itself to make it visible?
You can. I'm going to show you a quick hack that's going to make it even more visible to the algorithm, because first it's the algorithm
Yeah.
that you've got to be visible to. Okay. So let's just one moment. Let's come. Okay, so I'm going to come to my profile. Okay. And when you come to the right-hand side of your profile, it says edit public profile and URL. Okay. So if you click on that, okay, so here you can see that this one I have included my name. Now, if you've not personalized this, okay, it will be your name plus some random numbers and letters. Okay. So what you can do here is you can put your name and then you can have, say, underscore PMP and any of the other professional certifications that you have. And then what happens is that this becomes part of your URL. And, you know, that's something that will help you be more relevant. Again, you know, I see people also use it as part of their name, like Suma, you know, has, you know, Suma, and then she has PMP as well. So again, that's another way in which, you know, Suma is able to be, so she not only has PMP, but she has DASSM. Now, you know, forgive me, please, but, you know, I'm not sure what that is. But, you know, for people who are who understand that, then this will be relevant. Okay.
Okay. So one more question we have is,
Yeah.
any tips on banner for working professionals?
Yeah, working professionals. So I want to show you, this is another client of mine. So here, I mean, he's an HR leader for a large company, and that operates across about 12 countries and etc. So he's, you know, also written a book, you know, so he's mentioned his book here. But before that, he had the company, and plus, you know, he had three different areas where he had his role in the company. So he had mentioned those particular roles there where, you know, he was like HR leader, change management, you know, culture, you know, those were key expertise that he had. And if you look at here, in his about section, I think he's done the about section really well. So, you know, here is the initial, you know, his identity in, you know, as an employee. Then, you know, he's expanded on each of those slightly in terms of what he does. Okay. Then, you know, here he talks about his mission. Here he talks about his expertise and passion. Then here he talks about his current role. Then this is his past experiences. Here he's talking a little bit about his education and kind of certifications and things he has. You know, he's also an adjunct university professor. You can talk more about maybe associations and awards that you have. Other things that he ends up doing, keynotes or trainings or expertise. And then this is something simple, which is where is he born? You know, a little bit personal. He's a keen reader and a traveler. We ended up meeting, you know, in Croatia. So, you know, this is someone I met in real life. And then we connected on LinkedIn and continued that conversation. Then we went on to become, he became a client as well as a friend. And here, this is really important. He used some hashtags that he wants to be found for.
Oh,
I
great.
hope that explains.
Yeah. So just want somebody's like looking for where do you press edit link, editing of your profile.
So if you go to your own profile, okay, and come to the top right-hand side, you will see right-hand side of it, edit public profile and URL. This is obviously only private to you.
Yeah.
You need to be on your profile to be able to see that.
Okay. All right. So one more
Okay.
question
Yeah.
we have is, can we add the word cloud as banners in LinkedIn?
Can you add cloud to do
Cloud,
what?
yeah, cloud. I mean, cloud technologies right now people are working on, right? Maybe
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
this is related to that, right? Sai,
Yeah.
Madhavi, Sai.
So I would put it in the headline. Okay. I would put it in the banner.
Okay.
Those are there. And if you really want to, you can even put it in your name.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying that can help, let's just look at, like, if I ended up commenting on someone else's post, okay? So let's look at my activity, okay? So here, when I end up, like, say, Kumar has commented, but then here, if I'm commenting, you can see it has my name. It has this little icon here. So you could have a cloud there to signify cloud technology. And then here,
Yeah.
you can see here, it's typically the first three that I see, so you want to end up then mentioning that. So here, just see. I've been liking, yeah, here. So again, I commented here, and you can see these first three. So the first three in your headline, therefore, are important.
Yeah.
So choose them wisely. And I think when they come onto your profile, because the banner is such a huge piece of real estate on the screen, if you mention it there, just like how my client had used the word stockbroker and financial planner, then that will stand out. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. We'll do more questions later. Uh, let's keep it moving on. Alrighty, okay. Okay, now let's build your thought leadership. Let's build your personal brand, because a thought leader has a strong personal brand. And this is what is going to be able to generate high value opportunities and give you the kind of career growth that you are looking for. Everyone wants to deal with a thought leader. There's no doubt about it. And the easiest way in which you can do that is actually to begin publishing content. Why? Because only 3%, that's right, 3% of the 800 million users are creating content on LinkedIn. That means that over 95% of people are only consuming content. So if you are one of these people who makes content, then automatically you will be seen as a go-to person and a thought leader. So how do we go about doing that? Let's get into this in more detail. So let me give you some thinking here first. This is a 30,000-foot thinking, the mindset which underpins thought leadership. We are on a social networking platform. That is what LinkedIn is. And therefore, you must use social selling principles. And people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. You've got to have these key elements: know, like, and trust. And you can't just go from know to trust and miss the in-between step. Okay? So I'm going to show you some simple ways in which you can do that. Now, when I was teaching people how to network professionally, and I did that for 11 years, which is visibility leads to credibility, leads to profitability. You've got to be visible first through the right optimized profile. Then you've got to be interacting. You need to be building your network in the right way. Again, that builds your visibility. Then you need to engage with that network. That begins to build your credibility. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to compartmentalize your expertise and begin to share it freely on the platform. To talk about what you do, how you do it, some of the lessons you've learned, all of those particular things. And that's what will lead to not only you being credible, but it will lead to the opportunities, which I call profitability. Okay. And how do we do that? Okay. By posting. So I believe that there are 6 key reasons why we should be posting. It starts conversations. And it's all about conversations. Ryan Dice is one of the leading digital marketers in the world. Will tell you that conversation is the new lead. So people want to have communication and conversation with people. Number 2, it will allow you to share your value. How do you add value? As you begin to share value on a consistent basis, it will build trust. People will begin to follow you. If you're able to, number 4, demonstrate your expertise through a case study, through a learning, through some insight, then it's the easiest way to again build your credibility. As you begin to comment on other people's posts and leave meaningful comments related to your profession, you begin to develop relationships. Remember, it's not about ROI, return on investment, it's about return on relationships. Had I not continued interacting with Manish, when he was ready to engage me for LinkedIn for his CXO team, I obviously was the first person he thought about. Okay? So, but I wasn't going about trying to sell to him. But I was always constantly, sharing value, interacting with his posts, sharing posts of value for my audience, demonstrating my expertise. This can generate new business for you on a consistent basis. And what I will say to you is that it can actually be your number 1 lead gen platform. It is for me. 90% of my business comes through LinkedIn. So, do not underestimate how powerful this platform is. Because it is the number 1 trusted platform compared to all the other social media platforms, and it is a professional and business network, I love it. Okay, so now let's get into some specific kinds of posts which will work. When LinkedIn initially started out, it was mainly a text-only platform. You couldn't do pictures or anything like that. And as a result, many of the users are just used to text. And this is a very short content post. You'll see here, I'm quoting someone, he's actually a rapper. And you can see that, this is at over 10,000 views. I've used some hashtags, that I want to be found for, that I know are popular. And I've not used too many. I will say that you want to use between 3 to 5. Okay? And this is something I resonated with. I had read somewhere, and I just shared that. Okay? So, if you next time you read a quote and it resonates with you, then just note it down and then use it as a post. This is a simple way. People don't always want to be hearing about your expertise, and it's not just business all the time. They want to be inspired, okay, and things like this. I find that some of my best posts are either inspirational posts or personal posts. So despite it being a professional business network, don't just make it all business all the time. And I'll show you another post that's there. Okay, now this is a long post. So a couple of paragraphs. Now you can write up to 3,000 characters. And what I will say to you is that if you're going to use longer posts, then use short paragraphs. You want to use emojis and icons so that it becomes easier to read. And one of the tricks here is that if you can tag some people that you are connected to, and if you use the @ sign, and therefore here I tag my company and 2 clients of mine, who were presenting at this event. And that's why you see their names in blue. Okay. And, this then helped. And you can see there's a simple call to action at the bottom saying if you like an exclusive invitation to attend our next mastermind, then just type mastermind below. So it's a call to action, but it can be a simple thing such as, follow me for more PMP related, posts, whatever your expertise that you want to be known for, the thought leadership that you want to build on. Okay. You can have that. Okay. Third kind of post which works very well is one with a photo. We are more visual. The human brain is able to process images 60,000 times faster than text. And here I've used a particular trick where the founder of LinkedIn is Reid Hoffman, so I tagged him in the post. And some short wisdom, and I put my own spin on it, and I want to be known for marketing. Here I've used too many hashtags. I wouldn't use so many anymore. I would use maximum 5, but it's marketing related. So, and this became a trending post on marketing on LinkedIn. So it's good because I want to be known for marketing. And this is related to my company. So you can see the company branding with the logo, the company website is, branded there. Next, video posts do well. What I'm going to say to you is that you want short video posts. You don't want long video posts. No one has time to see long videos. And you want native posts. So what do I mean by that? You actually need to make sure that you load up the video file onto LinkedIn itself so that it is on the LinkedIn servers and then plays. You can see this was a 16-second post. It had some very compelling picture on it, and this had some 15,000 views. So it can be your own content or it can be someone else's content. If you're going to use someone else's content, please give due credit, otherwise, copyright will be an issue. Okay, so that's important. So when I had quoted that very famous entrepreneur from Twitter, then I had tagged him throughout. Okay, So simple as that. Next, this is one of my favorite types of posts. It's called a document post. So what is a document post? It is like a slide deck. And I will suggest up to 9 slides, and the slides need to be visually very attractive. Remember that in this day and age, a lot of people are going to access through the mobile app. About 60 to 70%, depending on your audience, are looking at accessing LinkedIn through the mobile. Okay, so make it easy to read on mobile. So here, I've done a document post, and the longer people are reading your post, the better it is for LinkedIn. And therefore, your post will get more visibility and more views. So this one has some 75,000, and it's helping me demonstrate my expertise. Polls are hot right now. So here you can see there was this particular poll that I had done, and I knew this was a little bit of a controversial issue. Okay, so I kind of agitated it slightly. I said, I know my answer to this question, but I was wondering what you thought. So it starts with a question, and then whatever you answer, let me know why below. So it's getting more comments, and you got a lot of comments. Therefore, if I get more comments and more people engaging with it, it begins to try to more and more. This had some, over 1 lakh people seeing it. Okay, and this even generated leads for me. So I said, if you want to have the ultimate LinkedIn profile checklist, then just type checklist. So, I would have generated some, 20, 30 leads directly from this. So this was really good. So run a poll related to your expertise, okay? Trends in your industry, all these sorts of things. Finally, this is something just completely personal. Just celebrated my wedding anniversary, 14 years, okay, on the 3rd of December. So you can see here, I had a picture like, the day we got engaged, and, a recent photo, and there's like, how it started and how it's going. And just a very simple post. And you can see this has had some, 16,000 views. It's had some 245 or 244 likes and 181 comments. This generated a hot lead for me, surprisingly. Someone who's not been in touch with me for a long time got in touch with me and said, hey, I'm actually looking at you being my business coach. So we just had a conversation. He's based in Hyderabad as well. So it's amazing what can happen. Nowhere am I talking about my business, but people want to get to know you personally. What's important for me, family is the most important. So, my wife, my son, my extended family, my friends, my hobbies, my passions, my values. These are the kind of things that I would like to talk about. And some of my best performing posts in 2021 were all personal posts. So it's okay to get personal. I would say 60% of my content is personal and inspirational. 30% is expertise related, and 10% is promotional. Okay, so one key thing I'll tell you, do not post every day, especially if you've got a post which is doing well. You don't want to kill that momentum on that post, okay? But if you end up posting another post, it will immediately begin to track that, okay? So you want to just do 3 times a week, okay, fix particular days, identify which ones work best. In my case, typically, working hours work best. I try and burst between 8:45 and 9, typically, and try and tag some relevant people. Don't always keep tagging lots of people, because if they don't engage with your post, then, LinkedIn will look at it negatively. So, in case you were wondering, is LinkedIn for me and how do I utilize it? I hope each of you are very clear about how you can really supercharge your LinkedIn. Okay, you are excited to leverage this platform with renewed enthusiasm in 2022. And I've given you a very clear roadmap on how to do that. If we are not connected, please connect with me on LinkedIn. This is my URL. If you want to reach out to me on email, then that's my email, ns@neerajshah.me. And that's my number, 981-948-7836. Drop me a WhatsApp message or something and I'll get back to you. Okay? So I hope you guys have found it of value. Again, I just want to remind you that we have this little free gift together with a training where I go into in more detail. And we can come to Q&A.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for all the details. Okay, there are some, okay, there's only one question that I got. Okay, can we undo the reactions like support, etc.?
Undo a reaction?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I've understood that. Okay. So take for example here, if this is someone who's commented, okay. So if I end up doing a like, and if I want to remove that, then I just click on it again.
Sorry, Neeraj, we don't see your screen. You're sharing.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Let me. All right. Let's share the screen. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so here Vinita has liked it. Okay, I'm clicking like here. If I want to unlike it, just click on it again. Here I do want to like it, and then I just want to put in a comment.
Yeah.
Thanks to Vinay as well.
Right.
Oops.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing the screen.
Yes. Okay.
How do I do that? Oh, okay, stop sharing. Okay.
Okay. I'm actually hope you're seeing my screen. I can read out some questions.
Yes.
All right. Yes. So there's one question in the chat window. People generally say it is not Facebook. What is your take on it?
As I've just shown you with that last post, which got 16,000 views and which even generated a lead for me, people would like to know who's the real person behind. And typically, even if you are building your network, it's not all business all the time. A lot of things happen, when you get to know someone, and it can only happen through interaction where you discover some commonalities, shared interests. and it's part of the know, like, and trust. So that's what I would do. You don't want to make things too frivolous at the same time, okay? But a mix of, if you share some personal anecdotes with some insights, always good.
Okay. What not to do on LinkedIn?
I think I've shared so many what not to do.
Yeah.
With your profile, with how when you're connecting to people, what not to do. Don't in terms of posting, don't always keep on tagging people. There was one person who kept on tagging me, and their expertise is completely different, got nothing to do with it. Me, so I had to actually tell them that, don't keep tagging me. And if they had kept on tagging me, I would have actually sent a complaint to LinkedIn.
Okay.
And I would have unfriended them. So these are some of the things.
Yeah.
One of now there are two kinds of memberships that are available on LinkedIn. One is called the premium membership or the business membership, and one is the sales navigator. Okay, one is the sales navigator is about $70, and I think it's only relevant if you're seriously looking at LinkedIn to generate leads and generate business. And what I would say is that begin to do all the things I've talked about today first, okay? So that you become visible and credible and begin to get some business through LinkedIn. And then you can go for the paid version because you're going to need to know how to use. And a lot of that is going to be on messaging. So the key thing there is connecting with the right people and then messaging them. So if you don't know how to set that up, then it's not going to end up working and it'll be a waste of money. The business one, it's lower. I forget how much it is, but it's about $15, $20 a month, approximately. The one thing I like about that, which you can consider, is it'll help you see who viewed your profile, and all the people that have viewed your profile. If you think they're the right kind of people to connect to, then that's an easy way for you to connect. And I've even got leads which I've converted into business because I saw, an old contact had come and visited me and then wanted to know more about how I can help them in LinkedIn. It also has LinkedIn Learning available as part of it. So then, there's hundreds of courses that you can access, so it can be part of your professional development. But if you're not doing the things that I've taught you today, then you will end up wasting money with the memberships. Any other questions that I have missed?
No, I think MS, I think that's answered your question. Is LinkedIn Pro membership is worth it or not? Yeah. Okay.
If you guys are going to do a post, today about what you learned on Monday, please tag me about, what you may have learned, and that might be one post that you can easily do. That's a key insight.
Okay. So Metu has asked one question. Is it good idea to tag the trainings completed in LinkedIn?
Yeah, you can. Why not? You can even do, I've signed up for this training that while, you can have a photo in the training and then you can have a certificate. So actually there can be even 3 posts. And, what are you excited about before? What is a learning that you've got in between, and, how we going to use it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. LinkedIn Learning app, yes, why not? I just completed this particular training. This is what I learned. These are 3 key points that I learned. Very simple, easy way for you to create user content.
Yes. I think we are. Why do forwards receive lesser engagement than the original ones, even though content is interesting?
Yeah, the LinkedIn algorithm does not like forwards. So if you're going to end up, if you like someone's post, instead of just doing forward, copy the link. And let me show you how you can copy the link. Okay.
Okay.
So just give me a second.
I am stopping sharing. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me share my screen. Okay. So to get the link address, if you go to the post and you will see 3 dots in the top right hand side, okay, and then here you will get copy link to post. So once you have done that, and then like say if I'm going to post, and you can then post a few things, like today I learned, and then like you can have the post here, and you can see it's now picked up the post. And then you can just say, hey, these are the 3 things that I like. So this will carry much more weight. Why? Because LinkedIn loves people creating their own content. They want to reward creators on LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all. We have the questions and chat window as well as in a question and answers. Q&A
Yeah,
session.
I think someone wanted the link for the free gift.
I think I shared it again. We can share it again in case.
Yeah, there it is.
I shared it again in the chat window. Yeah, Neeraj also shared it. So you can just sign it up and get the free gift. All right. So, okay. Yes. All right. So we are done with the question and questions. There are no other questions. Suma, over to you.
Thank you, Praveen. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Neeraj, that was really a super charged session. On behalf of everyone is commenting. I get to talk about it, and this has really been a wonderful session. In fact, you listed on all my things on the checklist that I had waiting in the wings almost for a few months that I wanted to do for my profile. And when you showed my profile on the screen here, that reminded me I have to change my banner. And in fact, for the benefit of the folks around here, I'd like to talk about our own how we connected. In fact, 2 3 months ago, my interest is on LinkedIn profiling, LinkedIn networking, how you can showcase your profile better. And while these topics were running in the mind, I came across Neeraj's some of the posts, as well as I started looking at more and more of the posts and the kind of engagements that he has been in. That's how we connected. I sent an email. I'm a premium member. So that I sent an email probably, and that's how we ended up talking. And then the D-Day has arrived today. So that's the power of LinkedIn, how we can engage for a beneficial thing. Okay, thank you so much, Neeraj, for that. And
Thank you.
with that, I definitely will do post and make all the changes that you have suggested. Thank you. Yes. With that, we go to our chapter's announcements. And guys, this is for the sake of the members of the PMI Pearl City chapter only. While we thank the rest of the folks who have come in, LinkedIn, Neeraj and everyone, please stay on. We will be having 2 to 3 minutes more, and then we'll wrap up the session. For the sake of the chapter members, please note that the chapter satisfaction survey is the deadline is December 29th. I'd request please submit the survey even before the timeline. That will show PMI what we have been doing, great things in the chapter, and what more other things that we can do. We can talk about this as well. So that's one of the things. Please look out for your individual email that has come directly from PMI. It has your own personalized link. It cannot be forwarded from any one of us. Okay, that's a reason why I have put the entire subject line so that you get a complete context of it. Sure. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
And for the credential holders, the project management professionals and the other professionals around here, you get 1.5 PDUs in the strategic area, and the PDU claim code, I guess it is, Praveen, you may have to move the figure a bit. The claim code is not visible completely. No, yeah. This one. Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. We will be sharing this across in an email as well. But for the benefit of the folks who are on the PDU, who claim PDUs for this, it is 1.5 PDUs in the strategic area with this PDU code. Okay. So if anyone doesn't know how to claim the PDUs, a first timer, please reach out to us at membership@pmi-pcc.org. We'll be happy to help you there. If anyone can just type in the email ID that I've mentioned, that would be really great.
Right. Yes. Right. Okay, I will do that. No problem.
Thank you, Praveen. With that, yeah. I would request some of our board members. I see Venkat, president of our chapter. He's in. I'm sorry, we didn't get a chance to introduce our board members as well, who are they were your super fans. Venkat, I'd invite you to talk a few lines about this session.
Sure, Shama. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, first of all, let me thank Neeraj actually for coming forward and taking up the session. This is one area, I think, whatever experience we have, this is one area all of us struggle day in, day out. How we project our journals, how our profile, we do, at least I look at my LinkedIn profile multiple times in a week, but very rarely I focus on certain mistakes I'm doing. Today, at least I could able to identify 6 to 7 mistakes I have in my profile, which I'll definitely make sure correct post this session. Of course, I think it's the same case with most of us, and very helpful, Neeraj, again. Now, thank you very much for coming forward.
Thank you.
And also appreciate Shuma and Praveen for getting the connect and arranging this session. And also all of you for joining this session on Saturday morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Venkat. Anyone else who would like to talk a few lines regarding the session?
Yeah, guys, you can unmute yourself and then talk about it. Okay, we will show you the PDU code again. Please make a note of it. Okay, great. So thanks to everyone for attending the session today, Saturday morning. And I hope this session is very insightful and useful to everyone. And as Venkat mentioned, every one of us doesn't identify what the kind of mistakes that we are doing. So please make a note of all the insights that Neeraj has provided, and make sure that your profile is supercharged, and will get a lot of visibility. And also, I wish you will be taking the free gift that offered by Neeraj will also be useful to you all. Please sign it up, and hope that will also helpful for you. All right. So if there are no other questions, I'll be sharing the screen for the people who are all on the call to make a note of the PDU code, but I'm stopping the recording.